terror-stricken shadow of a man, there was only one relief.
Another whiskey, Fred. A large one.
Make it 2.
Heavens. I thought you were dead.
So I am, old man. As dead as a stymie.
2 large whiskies, Fred.
Mean a quadruple, sir?
No. Separate glasses, of course. One for him.
Fred can't see me or hear me. Nobody else can either. It's only you I'm haunting.
But it's time you gave somebody else a turn. I've had it.
Not bad, am I, for a beginner? George Parrott, handicap 18.
I think it's perfectly despicable.
Not nearly as despicable as cheating at golf.
You haven't the vestige of proof.
Yes, I have. It's on the record.
What record?
The Recording Angels record. It shows there that you took 5 for the 18.
5 shillings, please, sir.
Recording angel. You can't count. Listen, now, you're going too far. It was bad enough out in the links.
You don't expect me to stop there, old man. All that invisible stuff was very elementary. Any rabbit could do it. The ghost must better himself.
Do you mean to say you're going to hang around me for the rest of my life?
I most certainly am. Unless, of course, you care to lay me.
How?
Well, first of all, you must give up Mary.
Give up Mary? Certainly not.
I'm not going to have a fine young girl like that married to a cheat and a liar.
Yes, I suppose I've got it coming to me. It'll break my heart, of course. Listen, if you promise to let me alone, I'll step out of Mary's life.
Well, that's my first condition. The second is you'll have to give up golf.
Give up golf? Never.
What you've just seen there is my favourite scene from this film, Dead of Night. You may well have watched that. If you haven't, I'd recommend it. I'd highly recommend it. It's psychoanalytically influenced at a time where I think psychoanalysis was really, starting to have an influence. I don't know if it was the early days of psychoanalysis or not, as if I'm going to look it up on the internet or artificial intelligence or something like that. But yeah, that scene remains a favourite. How the guy just casually dismisses his missus, but his sport. No, and anyone who's ever been into sport would sort of appreciate that as a pretty great piece of comedy. That's only one of the approaches to the sciences of the mind, as you may well know. The way they do things in the film, but who cares? It's just a great film. It's a flight of fancy where you can suspend disbelief and just enjoy the ride. And that's basically what I did. Tesco's, of course, Tesco's management and middle management tried to do what it tries to do when I'm watching a film and after I watch a film. It comprehensively failed. So that's sort of yet another sign of progress on my part, even though, not least after the 4 days it took me to do what I needed to do with the TV, essentially. Should have been another time where that was effectively that. But it sort of is relevant to point to, well, wait a second, look at where they got their cleanliness from. And that is technically accurate. That is where they got their cleanliness from. That goes way back. Personally, I want to go to Amsterdam. But anyway, like I said, like the people they got their cleanliness from, they'll probably try again. But they already have anyway. So yeah, that's sort of another indication of the state of Tesco's management, middle management, and so on. Right. We've heard tonight one of their future shelf stackers, going, Mum, 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 and stuff like that. They could say, Dad, 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 or Nan, 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 or something like that. And it's like irrelevant. But anyway, Paul Clegg does go, but maybe that's their approach to the architects, that sort of relationship. I mean, I looked, you'll know some of the media I mocked, not only the text, the subtext, the techniques that were being used in such media. You know, the arguments fall as flat can be, from all manner of angles. So really, all Tesco's has got, I've got it down here, is to just keep nagging and see what happens. Because basically, all their arguments fall flat. Keep nagging, try different concoctions, and so on and so forth, to see what happens. It seems a bit bizarre to me, but anyway, who am I to say? So yeah, that mum was sort of, is sort of within the Tesco's Missile Command Air Fryer sequence that I pointed to, and yet they tried again. You know. Anyway, you know, I can hark back to so many examples of that type of stunt. Similarly, with Thank You for the Music attempt at brainwashing in a branch of their Tesco's a while back, that again fell flat, despite it being quite a effort to try and bring the brainwashing to some sort of conclusion. Like I say, it's just another example of Tesco's method of nagging. It's pretty easily dealt with, even on their concoctions and the rest of the stuff they try to pull. But they're trying to dope me up about such things. Isn't there an easy solution to that? Practicalities and a more objective approach, as I've at least been demonstrating to myself, and should pretty much be obvious. Yeah, but all of it points to how I'm approaching text. Well, so much of it one of the things I'm doing is sort of redressing the balance in my relationship with texts in a number of ways. What Tesco does around stuff like that is their business. You know, I can easily deal with that stuff, but I don't remember coming across anything that says you have to believe any of the stuff that Tesco tries to bring about. Though they do seem a bit keen, don't they? My approach, like I said, an alternative for anyone who can think about what I do with a clear mind and with a critical sense, and you know, see it for what it is. You know, like I say, I can kill all flawed arguments like spastics if I feel like it. Dead. You know, it's not difficult, right? And like I say, killing spastics, there's plenty of those about, let's face it. If I feel like it is an effective strategy. Think about it, girls. Right. It does make sense. Technically accurate. So I'll do my own thinking, thanks. I've met enough people with a shit approach to texts to know that that's best. A realistic approach to how I'm having to read this off a device. A realistic approach to how I interact with those I encounter as well. That's actually the way it is, the way it needs to be. That may change at a future stage. I don't know yet, but it's working. Might not look it, but it does work. You know, Tesco started the process of trying to bring things to a head, and how long were they working on that for? To see what would happen. Anyway, I don't go into stuff in for stuff like that. Who would? You know, if I did, I would have fallen for the architect's point of view. You know, who would? Anyway, things I've been doing. For example, even though I shouldn't need to now, I've been debunking old arguments and techniques that never really held water anyway. That's easy, but it's also useful to do what I'm doing. You know, I mean, this latest instalment of my direct interaction with Tesco's management and middle management. You know, obviously they're gonna, I'd have thought, dope me up and try all manner of techniques. I'd have thought. Obviously they're gonna think, or something like so often happens, not always, but so often. And then, like I said, it's going to be some type of, them going around with, the film threads in their head or something like that. That sort of dynamic, hyping people up maybe, or just, to me, it's farcical. And I do enjoy the ride, but, and I will enjoy the ride when I get to Amsterdam. But anyway, and it's just, yeah. So they've been trying all manner of techniques, but it's sort of like I keep saying, I am pretty impressed with how I'm doing. More and more. I am sort of, getting to, making improvements in so many ways. Anyway, back to the film. Michael Redgrave's performance. He plays this puppet master or ventriloquist. And his portrayal is so fucking effective of a nutter that I've seen. I've not seen anything, in my view, that comes close to that. It is fucking brilliant, especially when you consider the time the film was made. In later decades, you'd get people celebrating other showstackers and socket girls who do what they do at a branch of Tesco's formerly known as Hollywood. But I've not seen anything that comes close to Michael Redgrave's performance. It is fucking brilliant. But the whole film's enjoyable. And if you haven't watched it already, like I said, I reckon you should.